Good evening, brothers. This is Brother Soldier 4D, other known as Jamala. And I was talking about religious leadership. This is part 3, religious leadership. And I was talking about how that the sermons that I got from Malcolm and Martin were very inspirational to me. And I was in my 20s, I think, and I learned a lot. And it empowered me to go to school with another attitude. I was so burnt out on the things I was learning. I struggled to learn because it had nothing to do with me. But once I heard these guys, then when I got back into school, I had a whole nother mindset, and I was able to get through several other graduate levels of schooling. And I've been on fire since. And I learned a lot about my African history. And sad to say that when I was mentoring and tutoring in school systems for one part of my life, that there were books that the young people were reading that was provided by one of the teachers, one of the sisters of African descent. And I was offering my services in that school, but I was looking at these books. I didn't know who Marcus Garvey was at age around, I was probably around 26, 25. I didn't know who Marcus Garvey was. But I saw the book. The lady had the book out there, and it was for children. And I saw Adam Clayton Powell, and I saw, of course, Dr. King and Malcolm, and I saw Medgar Evers, and so many brothers that when you look at their biographies and see what they were saying, what they were trying to do, you realize that we've been fighting this for a long time. And then you see why some of them are not Christian, or not peddling the faith, because the people in the faith and in the church has failed the community, and the people in the church have been just promoting a religious aspect of the faith, where we just praise, sing praises, and go to Bible study, and good things, but it's not enhancing what we're struggling with in this real world here. It's just giving you the spiritual side. And I remember Dr. King said, he that only ministers to the soul of man and not able to deal with his physical needs or his physical issues is a spiritually moribund religion, do nothing religion. He said that in order for it to be effective for men, it had to deal with their social needs as well. And you have a lot of spiritual and Pentecost type people that try to say that all you need is Jesus. You just need to get baptized, and you go from there. You get the Holy Spirit, you go from there. There's nothing wrong with doing any of those things, but when you try to say that it's all inclusive, I mean, like you get everything when you confess Jesus. You get everything. Okay. I didn't get no African history from that. Okay, I thought he was white back then. It's just awful. And I'm just saying this to say that this stuff has got to stop. You're gonna have to start loving yourself, and you're gonna have to stop trying to use a false sense of trying to love something that you have never seen, but at the same time hating what you see in the mirror and what you see that they say you're connected to in the African continent. And this is where your source is and where you come from. And then you're going to reject it. Pitiful, man. So I'm saying all this to say that you have to go in every institution in the society and make sure you seek out the truth in all things. Not to the degree that it's divisive and it brings division amongst everybody, but to the degree that it unites. If it begins to be divisive, then maybe you should back up. Because the whole thing is about liberation and about unifying on a common, struggling situation. If we can work together from all different backgrounds and everything in a workforce, we can work together from all different backgrounds in the military, Marine Corps, and the U.S. Army, and they let us pay tribute to our belief systems, but they still tell you your mission is you're a soldier, or your mission is you're in a Fortune 500 company and you to do this product and you to sell this. They don't want to hear nothing about how many times you spoke in tongues. They don't want to hear anything about all the time that you've been baptized in the water. That's a good testimony. But when they say they have a mission for you to do for that company that you work for, that's why they're hiring you. They're not hiring you for your religious faith. They're not hiring you for your Africanness. You got to be able to do that for them. But when it comes to your own and your own needs that they do not provide for you, you have to study your own black history. You can't expect to get the truth about your own history from your enemies. You can't expect to get the truth about your own belief systems from your enemy. You got to get your truth from your belief systems from you, people that love you, people that look like you, and people not just look like you, but people that have your best interest at heart and your right intention. You have to be able to discern that, because some of your own people that look just like you is the biggest devils that you ever see. So you have to watch out for them too, even in your own household. And when I say household, I ain't just talking about mama, daddy, mother, brother, sister. I'm talking about nation, village, tribe, community. Watch them. You got some wolves in there. Okay? So, religious leadership. They should have been able to give us the right thing, but some of them were slave descendants themselves, told how to preach and told what not to say. Still got them today. Okay? So, talked a little bit about how they didn't accept Christ when he came on the scene, and how the religious leaders were the ones that created most of the problems, and how that they misguide the followers and take them away from. They say a false prophet is more dangerous than a man packing a Uzi. They say a false prophet will mess you up in this life and the life that's to come. They say a false prophet will turn you upside down in this life, and you're going to hell. You're going to miss God in the other life. They say false prophet's bad. And that's one thing I try to steer away from. Telling people wrong or something. Tell them what to get them not only good in this life, but good in the next life. Okay? All right, so let me look at here something to make sure that I didn't leave something. I'm using a little bit different of a camera this time, and I'm hoping that it's, I look up at, when you see me look up like this, I'm looking up at the time. Time is up here, so I was kind of looking, but let's see something here. There's a saying in the Marine Corps that there's no soldier left behind. So they say if they lose a Marine, the unit usually will go out and look for that one Marine. But one Marine told me, if you lose an Army man, they'll just leave you behind. And I kind of laughed at it because it sounded like he was telling basically the truth, you know. But he said they don't have nobody left behind. Why am I bringing this up? In the religious world, where you have a lot of religious leaders, and not only that, let's talk about the black Africans. You have the black Africans on the continent. A lot of their people leave the continent looking in search for better economic conditions in the West. And some of them leave dangerously, like they go and join human trafficking places. They put you in these labor camps and usually like slaves. They take risks on the ocean on a little raft and try to go across a violent ocean, and they might lose some of these people. And I don't see on the continent, I don't see no search teams going out looking for their sheep or the sheepfold and missing persons. It's just like I can't speak for everything, but I mean, like, if you lose one African, you should be out there looking for that individual, or you should be encouraging them not to do what they get ready to do. And you should build the economy and industry to the degree, and I'm speaking to religious leaders mainly, and government officials. You should be building an industry where these people do not have to leave like that and take risks on their lives trying to get food on the table. See, that's where that love comes in. You can't love a people and let them just go out there and you don't account for them. You don't know where they are. You're not even going to look for them. You're a wolf. Okay? And damnation. According to the believers, the damnation is what's going to catch up with you. Okay? So, no man left behind, no African, no black African should be left behind. I don't care who it is. You should be looking for your children, your people. They say, does not a good shepherd leave the 99? If he has 100 sheep, he leave the 99 going and look for that one sheep to restore them back to the fold? Where is that in Africa? Where is that love mission in Africa? Where is it, pastors? So-called prophets? So-called evangelists? Why are you taking money and building all these churches on every corner talking about this is God's plan? Got a church almost on every darn block in America and in Africa. African countries. When you going to start taking some of that and building industry? You say, well, Brother Soldier, the Bible didn't say build industry. The Bible didn't say create jobs. Does it have to tell you that? It says righteousness exalteth a nation, but the sin is its reproach. So if you are righteous people and it's a condition of your heart, you're going to make sure your people have industry and jobs. It's just a given. Even if you're not even a believer or a religious leader, you're going to make sure your people have what they need. And if they don't, you have to build it to where they get it, or recruit people to come in and make sure they can help you with that infrastructure. And a lot of your lost people in the diaspora are geniuses, electricians and everything. They can come in here and do that. You need to recruit them brothers, them African hating brothers. Try to win them over. Okay? You build industry because of the condition of your heart. It's for the people. You don't have to have it in the scripture. It says love, and it says, I was hungry and you fed me not. I was in prison and you fed me not. So there's a lot of things you can do as religious leaders instead of building another church out here. I'm sick of this stuff. And you're sucking the people's money and you're using it to build all these brick and mortar churches where you could be building industries and building things to make jobs, because you want a man to be able to provide for his family. So build an industry so he can provide for his family, and quit pointing your finger at him when he can't do it. Or get out of the ministry. Walk your behind on to the employment line and get your own behind a job, and quit sucking it from the people. Religious leaders. Fake half doing religion. People wearing anything up in there. Got women all up in the pulpit bouncing around, juggling their darn rack, talking about they called. It's a fiasco. Got your people out here jumping on rafts, going across the ocean, and you talking about you love them. They ain't even look for them. People I know went out looking for jobs. I ain't heard from them since. I've been wanting to put a police search out for these people. Don't know where they are. Don't even go looking for them. Call yourself a leader. That goes to the government, the non-elected leaders and the leaders. Some people are out here breaking their behind trying to make things work for their people. losing their lives trying to help you religious leaders. You religious leaders is just as bad as those were back then. And they say those generations are over. Rise up against this generation, condemn it because of the way you did things. I have to close here. This is the last of the religious leaders. I'll get on a different topic. Peace, love, and God bless you.